Hey, what's going on, guys? It's K. Channel coming back at you with another episode of Do You Remember? Wrestling's most shocking occurrences that have happened. In last video, we did the end of the streak, Undertaker streak at WrestleMania 30, and a lot of people didn't think in wrestling it could get much worse than that at the time. But boy, oh boy, 2 days after WrestleMania 30, we found out that it got a lot worse, and it got a lot worse in the death of Jim Hellwig, better known by his ring name of the Ultimate Warrior. The Ultimate Warrior has I could sit here for 2 hours talking about his career in WWE and the fallout that he had with WWE and whatnot. There was a lot of open wounds with WWE and Ultimate Warrior back in the early to mid 1990s. In 2005, WWE released the Self-Destruction of the Ultimate Warrior DVD that really painted Warrior in a very, very negative light. Like, everybody just kind of was talking about this guy that didn't know what the hell he was doing. He didn't know how to wrestle. Nobody wanted to work with him. I mean, they basically just destroyed this guy in every light, which ultimately led to the Ultimate Warrior suing the WWE for defamation of character, per se. But at the time that this all happened, it's so heartbreaking because, we all owe a Hallmark card to Triple H, because Triple H, who, of course, obviously is Vince McMahon's son-in-law, married to Stephanie McMahon in real life, he was kind of the catalyst that got the Warrior and Vince together. It's like, okay, hey, let's put this all to bed. Let's put the Warrior in the Hall of Fame where he belongs. And that's the soothing thing, is despite all the bad wording, the hatred at times, the first thing that comes to mind with the Warrior is when the Warrior beat Hulk Hogan to win the WWF Championship at WrestleMania 6 in 1990. That was huge because nobody had ever, Hogan was untouchable in the early 90s. And for the Warrior to pin him clean, no less, was a big deal. And then the Warrior would hold the belt until the Royal Rumble in 1991, where they had Sergeant Slaughter defeat him, which was controversial in its own right because Sergeant Slaughter, in storyline, had basically become an Iraqi sympathizer. And to make matters worse, this was during the Gulf War. This was during, Desert Storm. Which, the Gulf War was between the U.S. and Iraq. And so for Sergeant Slaughter to align himself with Saddam Hussein and basically with the enemy, that was controversial. Whoa, hey, let's put the belt on him. Let's make this guy our number one guy. And it was shortly after Slaughter won the title, Warrior felt betrayed by Vince. Like, okay, I'm not your number one guy no more, but I pull in just as much as Hulk Hogan. This is in the eyes of the Ultimate Warrior. So basically, throughout 1991, the Warrior concocted a plan to basically make a list of demands. Like, he wanted just as much money as Hulk Hogan, just as much merchandising as Hulk Hogan. Hogan was still the biggest star in the company at the time. And now you got this guy, the Warrior, essentially holding Vince up. There was a match at SummerSlam in 1991 between Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior against Sergeant Slaughter. Hogan had actually beaten Sergeant Slaughter for the title at WrestleMania 7. So, Hogan and Slaughter were still feuding. And so that led to SummerSlam being Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior against Sergeant Slaughter, General Adnan, and Colonel Mustafa in a handicap match dubbed the Match Made in Hell. Prior to that match, the Warrior gives Vince McMahon a letter with all these demands. Vince McMahon temporarily agrees to all of these demands because in Vince's eyes, he wants the show to go on. You've got to put the show on because this is what the fans are paying for, okay? After the match, there comes I try to do these Do You Remembers with no notes at all, so I'm trying to think 30-plus years ago. Warrior runs off the other two, so it's just Hogan and Slaughter in the ring. And the minute that the Warrior gets backstage, Vince McMahon basically says, oh, hey, Warrior, by the way, you're fired. Now get the fuck out of my building. And oddly enough, who suffers more from that is actually Jake the Snake Roberts, which I have a requested video about Jake going to WCW, which I do plan. That's actually written down. I plan to do that video as well. Because Jake was going to get a program with the Warrior, and it was going to put Jake, more on the map than what it was. But Vince fired him, the Warrior, that is. So several years go by. Warrior comes back in '92 at WrestleMania 8 to help Hogan. He no-shows some more events. Vince fires him again. I think he comes back in, was it 95? 96. Yeah, 96, because it was WrestleMania 12. Another run, Vince fires him again because he stopped showing up for dates and stuff. And so there's a lot of friction here between Vince and the Warrior. And then finally, in 2000, I don't know, it was late 2013, early 2014, Triple H is kind of that bridge, if you will. They agreed to induct the Ultimate Warrior into the Hall of Fame, which was emotional. For me, I was a diehard Ultimate Warrior fan when I was a kid. I was 8 years old in 1990. I was a diehard Ultimate Warrior fan. So to see him get his, what I would say, just rewards, if you will, was very emotional for me, because it's like, again, I was a Warrior fan. Warrior showed up. He actually wanted Linda McMahon, of all people, to induct him, which she did. And the Warrior was led out to the Hall of Fame stage by his two daughters. I know Indiana is one of them. I want to say like Magadan or Madison. That was his other daughter. But, he talked very passionately about his family, about his wife, Dana, and his two daughters. And he's like, he tells his daughters, hey, you guys were probably too young to remember me when I was a wrestler. But he said, despite everything I've accomplished, my greatest achievement has been being your father. And I mean, that hit me right in the feels, The Warrior makes, of course, at WrestleMania, they always bring out the inductees or whatever, on the stage or whatever. So the next day, this would have been on Sunday. Hall of Fame was Saturday. WrestleMania 30 on Sunday. The Warrior comes out and the crowd goes ape shit. This guy still has it. Like this, I mean, everybody remembers the Ultimate Warrior. And then the next night, kind of where the cryptic stuff starts to happen. The Warrior comes out, Justin Roberts is like, please welcome WWE Hall of Famer, the Ultimate Warrior. And Warrior comes out, in a trench coat and all that stuff. And the Warrior looks blown up just coming to the ring. His face is beat red. Or no, I think he has like a gray, like a suit coat on, and he actually ends up putting on a black Ultimate Warrior leather duster, or a duster jacket. And inside this duster jacket is a Ultimate Warrior, the face paint that he had. And again, it's just like, the Warrior gets in the ring and he's doing this number. Like, he's blown up. Like, his face is beat red. I'm like, something's not right here. Like, he shouldn't be this blown up walking to the ring. He wasn't like sprinting to the ring. I mean, he did his customary, his rope shake and all that stuff. And he puts the mask on or whatever, and he, starts talking like his Ultimate Warrior. Oh, now you listen here, you listen here, Warrior, it's time for me to talk, doing his Ultimate Warrior mannerisms or whatnot. And then he starts to what ultimately ended up being almost like his own eulogy. And the hair on my arm stands up even just saying that, because essentially that's what it was. He talks about how every man's heart beats its final beat. His lungs take one last breath of air. And he, basically says he is the Ultimate Warrior. You are the Ultimate Warrior fans, and the spirit of the Ultimate Warrior will live forever. That was kind of the gist of his promo. And then he leaves. He leaves the arena with his with his wife and with his two children. The next morning, he didn't stay with the other wrestlers. He had his own. He was staying at a hotel in Scottsdale, Arizona, and walking to his car with his wife, with his daughters, the Ultimate Warrior drops dead of a fucking heart attack on the way to his car with his wife and children with him. What the hell? A lot of people thought, drug overdose. A lot of people thought suicide. It's like, man's not going to commit suicide walking to his fucking car with his wife and his kids and just drop dead of a heart attack. Come to find out, Ultimate Warrior essentially died from either heart attack or heart failure, and that his dad, Warrior's dad, had actually died of heart disease. All the men on Warrior's side of the family died of heart disease or heart-related matters in their 50s. The Ultimate Warrior was 54 years old when he dropped dead. That's creepy. That's almost scary if you sit and think about it. But yeah, Dana, Warrior's wife, would contact Triple H, and tell Warrior's dead. He just passed away. And you can look it up on the internet, like the video or whatever, where Triple H talks about, now he's got to take this information and he's got to go to Vince. He's got to go to Vince and tell him that the guy he just buried the hatchet with after, 13, 14 years dropped fucking dead. It's like the Warrior had closure in his life. The wounds that were open for so long are now closed. The Warrior can die a happy man. The Warrior can die a man at peace. And that's exactly what happened. And that's just, it's unreal. Like the fact that it played out that way, especially you wonder if the Warrior knew, based on his promo on Monday Night Raw the night before he died, when he talked about, every man's heart beats its last beat, his lungs fill up with one last breath of air. Did the Warrior know something? And that's what people coined. The Warrior coined his own eulogy the night before he died. Makes you wonder, did the Warrior know something the rest of us didn't know, at least until that Tuesday morning when he dropped dead. But there you go. The death of the Ultimate Warrior. Now they have, every year at the Hall of Fame, now they have a Warrior Award, which at first I thought was kind of cool, but now it's starting to become hokey or whatever. But again, just a way for the Ultimate Warrior to live forever, per se. It's kind of emotional to think about. Like I said, especially if you were an Ultimate Warrior fan like I was as a kid, it's hard to believe that Warrior's actually gone or whatnot. But let me know in the comments your memories of the Ultimate Warrior. Like I said, I've got some more Do You Remembers on deck, if you will. I'm going to get some gaming videos uploaded this morning as well. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up. Click the bell so you guys are always notified when I am live. So that being said, guys, that's going to wrap this episode up. Love you guys so much, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care.